Yo, welcome back. We got another episode of Dry Clean Only here, man. I'm super excited about today. I feel like this excitement is really, really exciting for me. I mean, it's so much to cover. I feel like we got a man of many tricks and many bags that he's in. So, without me doing too much of talking, Juliano is definitely in the building. Thank you for being here, big dog.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
I like my name. I like my name. I just wish I had a cool one or something.
Yeah.
Like, you got Femi first, right?
Right.
And like in my head when I made, see, this is where I started going off tangent. In my head when I made my Instagram and in my head I read it as Jdot, but everybody's always like, "Yo, what's up with J.com?" And I'm like, yeah. Anyways, y'all. Yeah, my name is Juliano. Julian, just with the O at the end. A little razzle dazzle my mom did at the hospital. Anywho.
But if you see him in the street, it's Jdot.
Jdot or Puerto Rico.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I retired that name because I had to get serious, but
Well, wait. What was the last one? What was the last? That would sound hard. Like, go ahead.
I thought
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Because I always, what's when I
Dog.
when I think of shit, I always think. So the reason why I made that name up, at one point in time, I was like, I swear to God, one day I'm a DJ at Blind, just one time for the one time, and my event gonna be called "Welcome to Puerto Rico."
Dog. Hey, please copyright that. Before anybody gets off with that, please copyright that, because that is, again, like I said, man, a man who stays in his bag, man. I mean, y'all hear it first, man. I mean, it's crazy. Damn, I love that one, bro. Juliano.
Yeah, appreciate you having me, nonetheless.
Nah, man, it's a pleasure to. I mean, first off, we had this in the works for about a couple weeks. I had shout out to E, man. We went to Hawaii and he dropped his book out there. If you haven't already, definitely lock in on it and check out his merch and everything. But it was a swell time. But me and you had cooked this up right before I had left, and I was like, bro, we gotta, like, it has to happen. So
Yeah.
And funny enough, it got delayed because I did get sick like last week. So we here now, man, and that's all that matters. And I'm happy to be here. But
It all worked out. Divine timing.
Facts, bro. And like, also too, like, this guy, I just like the energy, man. I know what we got prepared for y'all is just gonna slap, bro. Like, so I mean, we not to get off too much, man. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. We gonna take it back to, let's see, who are you, Juliano? Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Man, I don't think I've ever been asked that question. It's not even like in icebreakers during like high school, middle school, or even like a job. Who am I?
Right.
First and foremost, I have this on my Twitter header.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my fault I'm likable.
That's true.
So I feel like I'm somebody's son. I'm a human being. I'm an Aquarius.
Okay.
I'm a lover.
Okay.
That's a really hard.
Yeah.
That's a really hard question to
and
answer.
it's not supposed to be. I feel like it's not supposed to be an easy answer sometimes, because it's like, again, bro, when you have so much to offer, bro, it's just hard to categorize yourself in one thing. So I respect that, man. I really do.
I'm gonna try my best to keep my answers very concise and straight to the point.
Or not.
Or
it's
not.
fine, bro. We here for you. You know what I mean? Like, we here for you. So,
Okay.
you know, do
Okay.
what you need. Well, with that being said, man, let's take it back. Where did you grow up at, man? Like, I mean, we know you're from Chicago, or some may not know that you're from Chicago, but so bring us back to your, what was growing up like for you.
Okay. I like this question a lot. It's easier for me. Yeah, from Chicago. Grew up half of my life in Rogers Park. That's way up north. If any of y'all haven't been to Rogers Park, never heard of Rogers Park, got some decent food spots.
Absolutely.
Rogers Park, definitely a melting pot for me. And between Rogers Park, so it was between Rogers Park and then spent a little time in Uptown, so definitely like a north side baby for sure. But man, up there, I really took in all the culture of like, man, Latino, Middle Eastern, you know, everybody.
Everything,
If you from Senegal, Nigeria, if you Belizean, like I had everything and anything up there. Filipino, like the list goes on. And I feel like I carried little bits and pieces of that culture, almost like an internal like soup, you know. And I kind of just carried myself with that background. Anywho, though, yeah, from Rogers Park, moved to Portage Park, then moved to the suburbs for a couple years to Melrose Park, moved back up north to Portage Park, and yeah, now currently staying in Humble Park, and yeah, man. And you know, my mom's Puerto Rican, my father is Mexican. You know, I could speak 2 languages, and I could speak 1 language, Spanish, in 2 different accents. Unfortunately, you know, I feel like culturally I'm more Puerto Rican for reasons out of my control. I'm not too familiar with that side of the fam, but you know, I wish them well.
Yeah.
Man, let me think. I feel like that's
That's a pretty well-rounded start.
from where I'm from.
Absolutely, bro.
Okay.
I mean, like,
Okay, cool.
from the north, I mean, like you touching very important places in Chicago, and you're very diverse, which is very important because we that's what it's about. I mean, funny enough, I feel like I grew up the same way.
Yeah.
But my mom was very big on diversity, not diversity. But that was a very important role. She wanted me to be well-rounded, and you know, just have, you know, different experiences and things. And funny enough, I think just because of that, I'm able to have the assortment of friends that I do have today, and be very much so diverse, influence in everything that I do. So I love that, bro. I love how you've taken everything, especially because the North Side definitely holds like a lot of diversity in Chicago in one spot.
I feel like it goes a little unnoticed.
It
Like
does.
it's cool though. Like I
Yeah.
get it. Like I be meeting people sometimes, and I'd be like, "Yo, I'm from up north." They'd be up north. Like,
Yeah.
where are you from? Evanston? Not even part of Chicago. Close, but you know, no. Maybe come to Rogers Park or Uptown once in a while and figure some shit out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, we got the same parking problems as y'all. What you mean?
Facts.
From, like,
Probably up north is probably a little bit worse,
bro.
Yeah.
I know it is.
Yeah,
I don't care what anybody says. I know it is.
Definitely, yeah,
Streets
definitely.
narrower, colder because we
Bro.
closer to the lake
Facts.
and damn near Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
And yeah, man. Anywho, shout out Badaki's Hot Dogs and Wings on Damon. Shout out JB Alberto's
Yeah.
and shout out GGO's in Uptown. Y'all got to check all
man.
3 of them out.
Yo, you came in spitting the heat, bro. I'm surprised you didn't throw what is that? What is it? Buffalo Joe's up in the mix. I'm surprised you ain't throw that up because I was expecting you to throw that in there for some reason. Shout out to the Buffalo Joe's on Howard.
Shout out to Buffalo Joe's on Howard
Yeah.
and the one right next to Northwestern University. I prefer the Northwestern University location. The one on Howard. When I'm feeling a little you know what I'm saying? If I'm feeling a little brave, I'd be on that side with it. But yeah, shout out to Buff Joe's for sure.
Man. Oh wow, man. So we gonna reel it all back because we could talk about food for hours. Coming up, what were some of your influences, man? Like, what was something you were paying attention to?
Okay, influences. Unfortunately, but fortunately, I paid attention a lot to gang culture. I was never in a gang. I don't condone it. I understand it though. So gangs I grew up around, for sure. If anybody was curious, main ones that was in my neighborhood, it was either you were a GD or you were a Latin King, and I just stayed out the way, you know. But they was definitely around the neighborhood.
Okay.
Outside of that, man, my family, and I'm gonna point out a few family members. First and foremost, my grandparents. Cool. Like I wish everybody could experience grandparents the way I have, and I truly believe our pets and our grandparents deserve to live forever. Not saying that they're one and the same thing, but I'm just saying. So grandparents for sure. My grandmother's name is Myrna, and my grandfather's name is Juan, but everybody calls him Papa or Pops for short. So if you ever do see my gramps,
shout out to both of them.
That's Pops.
Yeah.
My mom for sure. And then my mom's cousin, Gabby. He was like, man, he put me on so much game at a young age. And then, man, who else? And then just like, my little friends like that I grew up with. I feel like I never really had like a group. I feel like I kind of like assimilated into. I inserted myself somehow, some way in different little groups, like people that were like super athletic. The skater group, the little nerdy group. That was playing Beyblades and Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and whatnot. And man, who else? Even like some of the hood boogers that I was cool with. I was just. But anywho, this is where I start getting off tangent. More importantly, from day one, my mom always was playing bangers, and I'm talking about like classic R&B and classic rap / hip hop. And and I feel like that kind of trendsetted into my music tastes. So around the crib with me and my mom, it was always like Chicago house music. It was always Jill Scott, Alicia Keys, Missy Elliott, Neptunes, for sure the Neptunes. Man.
I feel like my mom might know your mom. Because a lot of what you're saying, I'm just seeing it. Like
maybe.
I'm seeing it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And that's just scratching the surface. My grandparents, they put me on a lot to Motown and classic salsa for sure. Like I am the biggest like Rick James fan and Al Green and fucking. Can I curse on this? My
It's
phone.
all right. Yeah.
And
I gotta stress, this is about you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I forgot. The list goes on. Prince, like, and then for those of you who are familiar with salsa like that, like Hector Lavoe, Eddie Santiago, Frankie Ruiz, like stuff like that, all kind of played a part into kind of where I drew like either style from or like music taste from or just anything. And then more important, like last but not least, my mom has a cousin. His name is Gabriel, but everybody knew him as Gabby, right? He's much. I want to say he's in his like mid 40s. I'm coming up on 30. But I'll never forget the first time I met him. I think my mom, she couldn't really afford like to get me Timbs and all that, like all the nice shit every so often. I would always have like some nice shit maybe like once a year, but for every season, nah. So, she caught me the Timbs from Payless, but she got them for me in this raw ass colorway. So I was like, what? I'm not even mad. Like they not Timbs, right? So whatever. We go to this Thanksgiving party. Everybody's like, oh yeah, this is my son. Ooh, this is family. And my cousin Gabe at the time, however old he was, he goes, damn, I see you in he said some shit like, I see you in the Timbs. Now I know he knew they weren't Timbs, but he didn't make me feel bad about it. And the fact that I know he knew and did that, like I took that as a little kid and I was like, I respect that, because you're not like, you don't got no like mean or bully energy. And then, but what he had on at the time, I'll never forget. Motherfucker had the same Bape hoodie as Lil Wayne had. Motherfucker had on some I wish I remember I think they're called the Lunar Eclipse SBs. Like they were gray and then they kind of like ombre'd into like lighter shades of gray and then white. And they had a little moon, like a crescent moon at the heel. They were low top SBs. And he kind of put me on game. What was like at the time drip basically. And funny enough, I've been the same shoe size and the same height.
Get out! No, for real?
Since 6th grade.
You're wild. No way.
I swear to God. So when I was 12, I truly thought, I was like, boy, when I'm like 16, I'm gonna be like 6'3". I stopped growing at 12, evidently. On some generous shit, he was like, oh yeah, you could use this hoodie, you could use these shoes. So like,
that's love.
Yeah. So again, long-winded answer, but that's kind of who like molded my start to the Juliano that everybody gets to experience now.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what? I think it's funny. I see a lot of your upbringing in myself, especially with your mom and
Tell me
everything. Just like, especially on the music side of it, you know what I mean? Like the Jill Scott and the Neptunes and just being in tune there, bro. And just, like you were saying, I mean, a little bit earlier when we were talking, just the stress of importance in terms of diversity and just where you are, I see that as well. So I really love that. And shout out to Gabby one time, because we all need cousins like Gabby, man. Like who gonna make us feel good. So I Gabby, if you watching this,
shout out to Gabe. Yeah. He probably gonna see this.
Yeah, when he sees this, man, big ups to you, bro. I appreciate that, man. Because when you said your mom got the Timberlands from where? Was it Payless?
They weren't Timbs, but they look like Timbs.
Yeah,
like
Mom, I wanted Timbs so bad, and Air Forces so bad.
Yeah.
You remember those shoes that looked like Air Forces when we were younger, but had like NFL logos on them? Do you remember those? Like, I had a pair of those. Like, I wanted Air Forces, but my mom got me those. I wanted like wheat Timbs and whatnot, like, or the black Timbs like everybody was wearing. But my mom went to like Burlington Coat Factory and got like field Timbs with the like ones that you can pull down. So like,
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So like, I see that in myself, and that's so crazy, man. So
the Air Forces with the NFL logo. Bro. You know how like on the internet everybody be clowning people that wear like black forces, like that's some black Air Force activity.
Yeah.
That just reminded me. Everybody who had the Air Forces with the NFL logo.
Yeah. That's real criminal,
them
right there.
Them motherfuckers could fight for real.
I'm not gonna lie, that was
they
real
knew
criminal.
how to fight.
And you know what's crazy? I liked them so much, and my mom didn't like the way they look on my foot, so she took them back to the store. I was like, "Come on, bro! Like these are actually kicks that I like." But again, I don't want to get too much into that. I love you, Mom. I appreciate you, but
appreciate you, Mom.
Yeah. No, so, just getting back to a little bit of things. Like Gabby was the one who kind of helped you feel comfortable in yourself, and from that he showed you some of the ropes and everything. And you mentioned that your style pretty much has stayed similar since then. From today, you would say, or some aspects of it that you still
I would say
retain.
I would say that kind of set the tone for like, all right, I know what's up. Like I'm now my eyes are peeled to what the fuck is like in and what's cool and what's good, whether I could afford it or not.
Right.
And oh my God, bro. There was a spot in Uptown. It was probably one of and the internet was so young back then.
Is this the skate shop?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No.
It
was not a skate shop. It's not a skate shop. I'll tell you that for sure.
Okay.
It was on Broadway and like Wilson.
Okay.
Or no. It was on, I'm sorry. It was on Wilson and like Ashland. Yeah. Like it was like borderline Uptown with whatever neighborhood, maybe borderline Ravenswood probably.
Okay.
And it was across the street from a park where I think I was at either day camp or I was doing some like after school activity there, right? And we walked past and I peeped in the window and what do I see? Nothing but the shark heads, right? The shark head hoodies.
Right.
Saw them. What the fuck they got going on?
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, I got hella birthday money stashed somewhere. So I'm gonna ask Pops to take me here because I want to see what's up. Anywho, I walk in, they're selling what is, and I can't imagine it to be fake because at the time it's like I don't know. It could have been fake for all I knew. Who knows, right? But they were selling essentially what was like used Bape.
Oh, word.
So I think I paid like at the time I had to have paid like $150 for like a hoodie, right? And it was used. And it was a zip up like shark hoodie. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm about to he got that shit on though. Like that's how I felt. Like I was gonna pull up to school. Then my grandpa was just like, oh my God, kid, like 150, you know what the fuck we could do with 150? But I was like his pride and joy. He wasn't gonna tell me shit, you know? And now when my mom found out I paid that shit, boy, she took me back, yelled at the dude for even selling it to a child, somehow got our money back and took that money from me. And she was like, you stupid as fuck. Why would you spend $150 on this shark hoodie? You know, so on and so forth. And Yeah. So once like as a child, when you have something that you really want and you really think like you worked, I don't know what I did to get all that birthday money, but it was, at the time it was a lot to me. So getting that taken away, I'm like, no, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to dress like this.
Right.
I'm standing on business.
Right. You turned into the villain in a way of like, yo, I'm getting everything I wanted.
I guess, yeah, and I think that kind of transcended into my spending habits and dressing habits now, because there's a lot of shit I didn't have when I was a kid that.
Same. No. Like me and you were mentioning earlier, like just the conversation I was having to you about like the Yeezys or whatever, like how I couldn't afford, and I've said this previously, like I chase a lot of the old grails that I remember when I was younger, or that really made me feel some type of way when I was younger, that piqued my interest when I was younger. So I'm still chasing those and trying to get those because I'm living for the feeling that they created for me. So yeah, no, sorry, didn't mean to.
No, you good, you good.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to like encapsulate this answer into one answer. So essentially, I feel like how I dress now is I'll throw some shit together, whether it be thrifted or from Gap, but I always make sure I need one piece when I step out the crib that got to be expensive, whether it be like a Rude hoodie or whether it be a Grail vintage tee, whether it be some the Jown Bapes.
I did like those.
I gotta have at least one thing.
Yeah.
These from Gap though.
Yeah, those are clean,
Cargo
by the
print
way.
from Gap.
Yeah. I mean, the whole fit is clean.
Oh, appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you came in here. I didn't tell you this because I kept forgetting. We was talking about so much that it was like Juliano was like a friend from like my youth that I was just like caught up with. But what you smell, what you got on today, bro?
How I smell?
Yeah, like whatever that scent is, bro. That's fire. Yeah, like you got the scent, man. Like I wanted to ask you what it was.
I'll tell you right now. I'm not a gatekeeper.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I mixed 2 colognes, like a little salad.
Okay.
Write that down.
And they're both Le Labo. So on the wrist, I put matcha. On the neck, I put another 13. So
Okay.
when I move my arms a lot when I walk and when I speak. So
Right. That whiff, that waft,
that whiff. So
yeah.
So when me and you dapped up, you smelled this, and then you
was
smelled
like,
the other one. You was hold on.
Yo, I'm like, yo, this is.
And it was shower day, so you know.
Yeah. You had to go correct, bro. Oh my god.
But yeah. No, it's man. And prior to Le Labo, mind you, I'm not cheap. But where I could be cheap, I'm gonna be cheap.
Yeah.
I'm
We
looking
ball
for the
on
deals.
a budget, bro.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we not paying full price for a lot of things these days, bro. We don't.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
good on that.
So-
You got that. Yeah.
So funny enough, I used to only wear Chanel blue, right? Nothing too crazy, nothing major. And I remember shorty at Macy's or whatever was like, "Oh, you got to get the Eau de Parfum. It's gonna last longer." Whatever you say, Miss Lady, give me that.
Yeah.
And then when I switched over to Le Labo, I had gone to the Nordstrom's and man, I don't even know how to explain it. This Nordstrom has a bar in the middle of the Nordstrom, and it's downtown.
That's the one downtown. Yeah,
attached to a hotel.
Yes,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
yes,
I
yeah.
tell people this all the time. They're like, I have no idea what Nordstrom you're talking about. And I'm like, I swear to God,
Bro.
they got a bar in the middle of the Nordstrom.
That is the Nordstrom.
So I go, right? Mind you, I've gone to a lot of Nordstroms in my life. They may or may not pay attention to me for whatever reasons. But neither here nor there. I'd take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
But over here, everybody was super nice, conversive. You know, kind of not hyping me up, but just like making me feel welcome in there. I kind of wanted to stick around, you know?
Right.
So I told dude that was helping me. I was like, look, I'm honestly tired of wearing Chanel. I've been wearing Chanel for like 3 years. He's like, all right, cool. Like, what's piquing your interest now? And I'm like, not the usual like high fashion shit. Like, you know, Chanel and whatnot, Gucci, whatever. Like,
Right.
I was like, I've heard some shit about Le Labo though, but it's overwhelming for me because it's a lot of options and all y'all options named after numbers and shit. And he's like, I'll tell you what. Also, I think I had like a gift card from either Christmas or my birthday. I think I had like $300 worth of gift cards from Nordstrom, right?
He got you right, whoever that was.
So he's like, look, I'll tell you what, I get you like the sample pack of this, and you can take it, do what you will with it, and you know, you come back, make your decision, or you can return the whole shit. Like, I don't care what you do. Like, we got a smooth return policy.
Right.
I went through every single bottle. I hated every single one of them fucking bottles until I got to matcha, and I said, "Hold on."
Yeah.
I took another smell, and I was like, "I hate it, but I love it." But then I kept. The more I smelled, I was like, "The more I keep loving it." So I was only wearing the matcha at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then one of my best friends, I call her D, but it's short for what her name is, right? So we gonna keep it to D. Shout out D. One time I went out and she was like, "Yo, I smelled you. Like, you got a new scent." And I was like, "I'm trying some shit out. Like, what you think?" She was like, "You don't ever mix colognes?" And I'm like, "What you mean, my boy?" She was like mix that shit up. Well, like mix that shit up with a salad. Like, you don't ever mix. And I'm like, I'm about to now. So then I started mixing, and I was like, I figured it out. I figured it out.
Yeah.
And anywho, that's my scent.
I was about to say, like, an older gentleman just from my the other job I was working at, he just put me on the art of mixing or whatever, because I noticed he like smelled good. I'm like, man, what is that? He's like, man, I mix. He's like, I mix up, and then he brought in a sample for me to wear. It's fire. If I ever see him again, man, I gotta let him know I need a re-up on that. But like Labo has this other scent that I like. I don't know if you've heard, but it's called bergamot.
Bergamot.
Yeah. Top chief, bro. Oh my goodness. Like, I gotta get my Le Labo game again. I just mess around with the candles. I got a few candles or whatnot, but
their candles are cool. But I really like the Malin and Goetz candles. I don't know if you fucked with them.
Yeah, bro, I use their chapstick.
That's crazy.
Like their moisturizer. They had it at Nordstrom Rack over here. And like, it is fire.
It's
bro.
decent.
Oh my goodness. I gotta find it's like $15, but it comes in like this, but it works wonders, bro. It does numbers. Like, for real. Like, it's some good stuff. But I haven't tried out their candles yet.
I'm only recommend. Now, mind you, I smoke occasionally, socially, right? The one, I forgot who gifted it to me. Somebody gifted it to me, and it was the scent was called cannabis, and I'm like, fuck, I'm on my crib smelling like weed for.
Right.
Hell no, I lit that shit up. That candle was horny as hell.
What did he say?
That shit smells so amazing. I started gifting everybody this candle. Everybody was looking at me like, why would I want a cannabis scented candle? And I'm like, it don't smell like cannabis. Just be open minded.
Right.
I can't explain to you what that smell like, but it's intoxicating, man.
Yeah. Nah, bro. Yeah. I'm really enjoying this portion, man. Man, I gotta try that. Yeah, nah, for real. You just teed me up with that, with the art of mixing, because I didn't take it serious, but now it's something I'm gonna have to study and get more into. But and that candle, I don't know if you've heard of Diptyque too. Diptyque. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I'm gonna pull it up at the end. And
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we gonna get into it. Getting back into the nature of things, man. Juliano, you do so much, bro. Funny enough, how I even, outside the homie Yes, who introduced me to you, you came up on my feed, and you had you were on an episode of another podcast and whatnot. But from that, I dug deeper, and you do a number of things. I mean, we got Lauredo Projects. You're a jeweler. In fact, is that what you would call yourself?
A jeweler?
Yes. Is that because I don't want to label you as something and put you in a group?
No, for
you know
sure,
what I mean?
For sure.
So
now, I appreciate that. Yeah. Now, from an outside view, yes, I am a jeweler.
Okay.
Now I am.
Right.
But when I started, that was never the goal. My goal was, and this is what the term is called, like in the industry, like if you're not a jeweler, you're a watch dealer. And if you're not a watch dealer, you're a diamond dealer.
Okay.
So I started off watch dealing. Mind you, for those of you who aren't familiar with that industry, you could type a watch dealer on TikTok and you will go down a rabbit hole, and it almost makes you believe it only exists in New York. Now, mind you, it's heavy out there in New York. Everybody is a watch dealer. Watches are everywhere. And what I mean by watch dealer is it's just a fancier way of saying I'm just a watch reseller. So similar to like the sneaker game, I wouldn't call somebody a sneaker dealer,
That's true.
So essentially this is how it works, right? And I'll make it as simple as possible.
For sure.
Femi, if you are a fan of Rolex, let's say you want to get a white gold Daytona, right?
Okay.
That's like on your that's on your radar,
That's
right?
chill. I'm a Submariner guy. I could do a Submariner.
Bet. I mean, no, my fault. Okay, so you want a Submariner, right?
Yeah, or presidential. You know what? I'll take, honestly, if I can get the Rolex, I'll take it. You know what I mean? But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, do you have a specific sub or a specific Prezi that you have in mind that would be like your dream watch?
You know what? I like the ones that have like it's like the Arabic ones. I don't want to be like everybody else, but that one with like they have like diamonds in the inside. You get what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But I'm simple. I don't need no iced out, and we gonna get into that because I remember you said that. But I'm a simple guy, man. So like anything along that line.
Yeah.
I mean, and a Rolex in itself is like a spig for me.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
yeah.
Okay. Well, with that being said, let's talk about a date, aka the presidential, aka the Prezi. Right. Let's say you want a Prezi. Let's say you want a white gold or you want a platinum one with the Arabic number markers. Woo, woo, woo. You walk into a Rolex store. We got one on Michigan Ave, right? You walk in, you say, hey, my name is Femi First. Woo, woo. I'm here to buy a date. They're going to be, not round here, partner. Not round here.
Right.
Basically, these luxury watch companies have figured out a way to create so much demand and it's such a crazy thing because I know other companies like Porsche has done it too. I want a Porsche 911, but you can't go into a Porsche dealership and get one without building rapport with them. You got to buy 18 Porsches before you can buy a Porsche.
I just watched a video on
some
that.
shit like that. Yeah, me too. And I never knew that, right? So with Rolex, if you want a date, they're gonna be like, you have purchasing history with us? Nope. Cool, you'll be put on the waiting list. They won't reach out to you for the Prezi you want. Maybe for 5 or 10 years. And that is me being generous. It might be 20 years for all I know.
Right.
But that's kind of the name of the game. Now, somehow, some way, the jewelry industry is one of the oldest industries since the dawn of time. Gold has been traded since the biblical days. For eons. Right. And we took things from there and made them. I mean, like, think about it. When they bring up ancient Egypt and they bring up like, oh, we found all these ancient Egyptian jewels.
Right.
Jewelry has been around since, like I said, since the dawn of time.
Right.
So there are certain families that come from a long lineage of royalty that can afford these pieces, and they kind of set the tone for the market. So then they get it at retail costs from, let's say, Rolex. Right. Then they may or may not be royalty. I don't know. I'm just giving you like the grand scheme of things. They will sell it, call themselves a dealer. Now they're selling it to me, who's another dealer / jeweler. Right. Selling it to me at a wholesale rate. Right. So let's say somebody had hit me up. I kind of don't want to give you the numbers.
Yeah, you know what? You can give me a idea.
I'll give you an ballpark. Okay, I'll give you a made up number.
Okay.
So let's say somebody hit me up, right? Like a client talking about something. I want a Prezi. Cool. Which one you want? What size? I want this one. This one. Cool. What's your budget? My budget is 45 to 50K. Cool. Perfect. That same one that they found for 40 or 50K. Now, my dealer is gonna sell it to me for 7% less than 45 or 50K. Okay. It could be 7% less. It could be 15% less. It's just going to be less. Now that's my cost. Now I flip it. He flipped it to me. Now I got to flip it again. Right. And that in turn, that's where I start being a watch dealer. Okay. Now, the issue.
Oh, some uncut gem moments. Okay. All right.
Actually, no. My fault. So yeah, because I was gonna go off tangent. Yeah. I was gonna go off tangent. My fault.
I'm gonna really get into this.
So that is what I got. That is what I got myself into, and now how I got myself into that.
Yes.
From the age of 24 till I was 28, I had worked in corporate. I had worked for.
I can't believe I don't know if you just saw my face right now. You said age 24, 28. Bro, I thought you look very youthful and young, brother.
Do I?
Yeah, you look like you just tinkering on 24 right now.
No.
You know what I mean? You
What,
just getting there.
what did dude say in the Breakfast Club? Cap.
Yeah, nah. You said okay, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So, yeah, worked corporate. Went from the pharmaceutical industry to the software industry. And I went to the software industry chasing the money. Everybody said that that's where all the money's at, which makes sense. You know, we have AI now. Software evolves every 3 to 6 months.
Right.
And I made good bread there, but I got really comfortable and I wasn't really aware of like how easy they could. You know how do I say this? Like how quick they can hire you, how quick they can fire you. You know, like there's no reason anybody needs to give a 2-week notice.
Yeah,
that's just another topic of discussion.
Yeah.
But anywho, I was working for this tech company. They was doing bad business. They had me lying to clients on phone calls about things I don't need to get into. And then they call me one day, like on my lunch on some like, hey, can you get on a call with me and HR? And I'm, as a joke, I'm about to get fired. And they didn't say shit.
Oh, Lord.
So in turn, I got laid off, but it was such a weird experience for me because mind you, I didn't finish college, and I'm a lot of things. But if there's one thing I am, I'm definitely a hard worker.
Absolutely.
And I'm a hustler. Like,
Absolutely.
for sure. And I get that from my family and my friends, you know, like, and yeah. So when I got let go, it was such a weird, like, mental, emotional roller coaster for me. And I was just stuck. They were like, this is going to be your last payout. And if you want to do unemployment, you could do unemployment. And I'm like, my pride wouldn't let me do unemployment.
Facts.
I let that money sit around for whatever. So one day I woke up. I sulked. I didn't sulk. I kind of like masked the misery for like 2 weeks, not knowing how to, you know, go through life in this scenario. Because like I said, I had never been fired before. You know? It's just weird. So I was getting, you know, fucked up left and right. At the time, the girl I was dating, I was like staying at her. I never wanted to go home. Right. And then one day I said, you know what? I was like, when there's a will, there's a way. I got this bread, and I don't want to invest all I have into like some shit everybody's doing. Like everybody's like, get into real estate, buy a property, buy this, buy that. And I'm like, bro, you think everybody thinks that's so easy.
Bro, they do. And they throw it around like as if they're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like as if that's something you want to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm a big pay for convenience guy.
Yeah.
The minute I buy a building, ain't shit convenient about it.
Right.
Mind you, I don't have kids. I don't have like a big family to hand that off to, and it's like, no, motherfucker, I need money now. I need to find out a quick solution. So, and anyways, I had a friend. I have a friend who is a jeweler. His name is John. John hits me up one day, and at the time during the layoff, I had just put out some clothing. I made some tapestry shorts.
Yeah.
This material.
Yeah.
And it was a real tree pattern, and but it was real tree and frosted real tree. So there's two different real trees. There's the one that's olive, and there's the one that's like blue.
That's how you know you really in this. Really, because I don't know that.
Yeah.
But you go ahead. Yeah.
So got them bitches made, whatever. Pay for the photo shoot. Lookbook looked cool. It was super last minute. And it was fun. And I only made like 10, and I was gonna sell them for $100 a pop, right? And I was like, I'll make a quick stack, real quick, hold me down for a little bit. John hits me up talking about, yo, I want to buy these shorts. Come to my new office downtown, drop them off. Say less. I'll give you some bread. We go to his office, we chop it up. He goes, and he's a very nice, like, if and when you meet him, you gonna get to talking. Like he's a talker, but he's also a good listener. And he's very like, man, so you know, how you doing, man? What's going on with life? How's everything with you? And I was like, oh, Fripp, I'm not so great, brother. Like, it's cool, but I'm down bad right now. And I tell him my situation. And I was like, you know what? But I also think it's perfect timing that you told me to come here today because I have this bread. Can you point me in the right direction? I want to buy 3 Rolexes. And he goes, number one, as a friend, why do you want to buy 3 Rolexes?
Right.
As a businessman, what you gonna do with 3 Rolexes? You know? And I told him what my plan was essentially to get into that dealer market, you know, to get into the reselling shit. Right. And he goes, I'll do you. He's like, I got a better idea. How about I get you 1 Rolex? I'm gonna get you one. It's gonna be a good one. Okay. I'm gonna tell you, and it's gonna be a good one for XYZ, which it all makes sense. And he was like, "This gonna be your spread on it, what you can make. You know, come here, spend some time here. I'll show you the ropes. I'll teach you a thing or two. Sure, whatever you want to do. And if it don't work out, it don't work out. You know, and if it do, like, God willing, then we figure some shit out. So." I bought a 2-tone 40 millimeter. No, I bought a 2-tone 41 millimeter Datejust. Champagne dial, fluted bezel. At the time, the market was people were selling them on the market for like 15.5. You know, it came with everything, box, card, or papers, what people like to call it. Right. And he sold it to me for a pretty reasonable price.
A love price.
And he was like, bro, let me just make, basically it was like, yo, let me just make this on it. Like, I'm really trying to help you out. And, you know, maybe we could be the dream team for all I know. Right. So fast forward, I don't sell that Rolex. Okay. I don't sell that Rolex to save my life. Oh, wow. Nobody wanted it. And if people wanted it, they were lowballing me, and I was like, "This shit."
Where did you have it posted at? Was it on eBay?
I had it on eBay.
Okay.
I had it on, but thing with eBay is on luxury watches they take 12 point something %.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I put it on Chrono 24. It's a reputable watch reference site, and you could also shop there too. But you're gonna pay top dollar for that, plus card fees, processing fees, taxes, all that. Okay. I put it on there. I had hella views on it. Nobody was buying. Nobody wanted it though. And then in person, I started posting this shit on Facebook. Everybody looking at me like, this motherfucker selling Rolexes now. Like, is this
where
shit
the hell he get that?
Right. Literally, where the hell he get that? Is this even real? And it's just like, I'm just trying to survive out here. You know, like I'm really doing, and I'm trying to figure it out one day at a time. Right. And I'm trying to like. And at the time, my Instagram name was Puerto Frico.
Puerto Frico. So how you gonna trust a man selling a Rolex? That's what they was thinking.
Oh God, because I wouldn't buy that like off a dude. Like I had no website. There was no credibility.
Meet up in Walmart, G. I got you.
Oh, and mind you, John was like, "Yo, you could use my office. His office is nice as fuck. We got marble tables, smells good in there. We got Malengo candles. Okay, got a Bose sound system. Play Frank Ocean and whatnot.
That's the perfect place to pick up a watch,
bro. And then, anywho, I don't sell that watch for months, maybe like 3 or 4. Okay. However, 2 weeks passed. I saw because John had his own inventory of watches. He probably had about maybe 10 different Rolexes, right? Okay. And he was expressing to me a problem that he had a Rolex so there's this term called sourcing. If I don't have a watch in stock, you wanted a Prezi, right? Right. I don't have one on me today, but I'd be like, you give me a deposit, I'll get that for you. I get it overnighted. You send me a wire for $80K, I get that shit to you on Tuesday morning. That's how that works, right?
Okay.
So he did that for somebody. Somebody paid a deposit, but they were like, you know what? Actually, I don't want it for this and these reasons. So he got into a situation, right? He went to me. He's like, "Yo, you think you can sell this?" And I said, "I could try." All of a sudden, who would have thunk Facebook Marketplace was gonna be the first place I made my first deal? A dude in St. Louis, Missouri, found me, and I thought this shit. I was like, I hope to God this ain't a scam, because there's a lot of like wire fraud. There's scams everywhere.
Yeah, St. Louis too.
Yeah. Like, shout out Sexy Red.
Yeah, right. Ski.
Yum.
Sex. Yeah, I love that one, bro. I love that ad lib. Love that one.
Oh God. Anywho, this dude, I do my research on him.
Mm.
He's like head top performing dealer at a Dodge dealership in St. Louis.
Oh,
Hellcats, SRTs. Like, come on now, put two and two together. I know he making
Right.
bread. So I'm like, all right, cool. The watch was $16K.
mm-hmm.
He paid with his Amex. I sent him a link. A couple hours, so my first one, and John was like, "Yo, shout out to you,
Right.
congrats to you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep pushing."
Okay.
Week after that, another one. Week after that, another one. Week after that, another one. A month after that, mind you, in the mix of all this, I have so much free time. I'm like, you know what? Everybody popping off on TikTok. Let me try it. I start making TikToks. Right?
Yeah.
I'm grown as fuck. So in my head, I'm like, I know this gonna give shorties the ick. I know motherfuckers gonna think I'm lame, but I don't care. Like I'm down bad right now. I'm doing whatever I can.
Right.
One thing led to another. 50K views here, 30K views here. All my clients after that Facebook client all came from TikTok.
Bad.
Every single client for a watch found me on TikTok. And if you're gonna trust a TikToker before you trust Puerto Rico, that told me something.
Yeah.
Mind you, the TikTok name is still Puerto Rico.
Hey. Yo.
So, in turn, one thing led to another.
Mm-hmm.
Come the month of, I think November, right? Around Thanksgiving time.
Mm.
Like this dude hits me up, right? He asked me for 1 AP,
Mm-hmm.
Audemars Piguet, Royal Oak, and 2 Rolexes, all plain Jane factory original.
One guy asked you for this.
One guy. He had 50 followers on Instagram. No pictures, no picture of himself. Me, remember how I was telling you earlier.
It's giving African Nigerian prince.
Who, I don't know. I thought it was just a scammer. I definitely thought I was going to get robbed.
Right.
And I was very like weary of sending out the address because we're like in a suite, you know? Like once you have that, there's a lot of shit. There's shit in there that like
uncomfortable amount.
I pray to God every day that
right.
you know, that we're safe, you know? And anywho, dude pulls up and he was cool. I told him these are the prices. He pulls out some cash. And next thing you know, once I did that, then he brought his homies. Then his homies brought bread. And their homies brought their ladies.
Oh wow.
One thing led to another. Then there's rumors in our jeweler's building. Hey, John, who's this kid you got following you everywhere? And he goes, who, Juliano? They're like, yeah, who is he? What is he doing? And they're like, oh, he sells watches. How? On some hater shit. And he's like, I don't know.
He gets them sold.
He gets them sold though.
Yeah.
Mind you, APs are very client specific, unique to purchase watches. Not everybody wants them.
Right.
Cause if something goes wrong with them, you got to send that to AP. They're finishing on the actual metal itself, whether it be stainless steel, you know, gold. I don't know what they do in that factory, but it's you can't replicate it. And if you polish it, you're going to fuck it up. Like there's nothing it's so crazy. Like now with Rolexes, if you want to clean them up, polish them, you good. Like
right.
It's nothing crazy. Mind you, Rolex is still a very good watch. Still
Absolutely.
a solid watch, right?
Yeah. Without a doubt.
So then when dude who bought the AP and the 2 Rolexes brought his homies, now they wanted APs. So now I sold 3 APs in 1 month. It takes motherfuckers 6 months to sell 1 AP, at least in this city.
Okay.
And mind you, the best part about this was I had none of this in stock. All of this was sourcing. Me tell him, here's my wire information, send that shit, and I will get it to you in 2 days. And every price, it was always like, hey, I gotta like keep it a buck. Why are these prices so cheap? Mind you, why is 50K so cheap, right? That's a crazy thing to say.
Crazy.
And I say, and I'd be like, what do you mean by that? And they're like, I'm gonna be honest, I went here before I fucked with you because I never heard of you before. And everybody's charging me 60, 70, you know? Okay, maybe not 70, but just to put some context. And I say, my simple answer is, and again, this is not shade to anybody. That's how I do business. I know what I'm gonna make on it, and I am thankful and grateful, and I do everything with grace, and I just do good business. Not saying that everybody else does bad business. That's just how I do business.
Right.
You know, that's how me and John do business. That's how he has done business forever.
Okay.
And then that's how we set our reputation. That's what set us apart from others. The one variable that pissed a lot of people off was that how are y'all moving shit this quick? And y'all not even Middle Eastern. Y'all not even y'all not part of this demographic that has sold jewelry since the dawn of time. Who are y'all? And yeah. I'm a feel. You want some more wine?
You know what, bro?
Hold on.
And shout out to you for bringing this, man. Yeah. You got to give them the context on this, man. I mean, you gotta.
Hold on, I gotta talk to the mic. So, number one, shout out, Action Bronson. This is a Susukaru. I heard about this the first time from a Fuck That's Delicious episode. It's a natural wine, and according to him, it pairs excellently with fried chicken. And shout out to Femi First for grabbing the wings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Otherwise known as fried chicken. Yeah. But more importantly, shout out to my longest friend of all time, also from Rogers Park. We've been friends since we were 5 years old. My boy Eddie. He got this from me from his work. And shout out to y'all. Anyways, let me pour you up.
No, I appreciate you bringing this through. While you pour it up, I do have a question for you. You know, I think sometimes thank you. I think we all get a little what should I say? When it comes to buying jewelry, we get in this mindset that you have to be rich, you have to be someone. You know, you just have to have some type of large amount of money coming in. If someone wanted to grab a watch or, speak with you about that, what would you suggest? I mean, what would you suggest is a great entry piece?
A great entry piece. It's case by case. Honestly, I have my recommendations, but people gonna do what they want with their money.
For sure.
If it were up to me, I'll tell you what I could afford right now. Also too, I kind of want to shed light.
Please, yeah.
These pieces and this money that I make from these watches. Think of it like the sneaker reselling era. You buy Sean Witherspoons, right? You buy them at retail with tax, everything, $200, right? You could flip them for $600. You could flip them for $1,000. That was the spread, right? Some people made $400 on them. Some people made $800 on them. Same shit with watches. I'm not out here making 10 racks a watch.
Sure.
Because the watch costs $50K, and a lot of that gets misconstrued because it goes through 4 people to get to the end result. So 4 people got to make bread on that. You get me?
Yeah.
So what I choose to afford right now, I would get either a 1601 date just, all stainless steel, probably a black dial. It's a vintage piece.
Okay.
That can run you around 3 to 4K. Or to even save some more money, I would get I'm sorry, the 1601. So the 1601 number is a reference number.
Gotcha.
So every luxury watch has a reference number, almost like not a VIN number, but like think of like a S500 Mercedes, right? That's essentially what the reference number is. And that specific reference number doesn't just come in stainless steel. Sorry, it also comes in two-tone. But I would get that watch on just a leather strap. I'll tell them save the bracelet, save the strap, save some money. And on a leather strap, I love small watches, and I love leather straps. I'm not really a watch guy at all.
Really?
I'm not a watch guy, mind you. There is one watch I religiously wore that I had access to during my career so far. And that's different. That's different. But I'm not a watch guy for sure. Like I'm not. What I do like though, I like bracelets. I like one little gold chain, and that's about it. I never had my ears pierced. I kind of want to get my ears pierced.
Yeah.
But anywho, So I would say either a vintage date just on a leather strap, you anywhere, or even like a Rolex Precision,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be anywhere from 2 to 4K,
Okay.
or you get a must de Cartier
Mm-hmm.
tank. You get one for like a stack.
Okay.
Yeah, or even on some freaky shit, you could get an old man, what the it's a old Seiko chronograph. It literally looks like a Toyota Camry on your wrist. That's the only way I could describe. It's a funky looking watch. That is, but even like oh my god, here I go stuttering. Even the
I love it, bro. No, this is you. This
even
is you.
even like the old Oakley or Nike watches, like
Oh yeah. You know, I was looking at. I'm not a watch guy myself.
yeah,
But about a year or two ago, I was like, man, you know what? I think every guy should have.
yeah, for sure.
Excuse me. Like a timepiece or something. And I was thinking about getting like a Todd Snyder like Timex watch, like something just simple to pass the time.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no,
Not at all.
yeah. But no, I was just, I mean, this episode I was really because watches I forget. You know what I mean? That's a part of a style, or that's a part of what you decide to wear. Like it's an accessory at the end of the day. So sometimes I forget. So that's why I was really excited. I mean, we're hitting on aspects that I never really thought about as I'm losing my voice right now. But yeah,
I'll tell you what. You know who got one of my favorite tastes in watch is probably Tyler.
I was
creator.
just about to
Tyler and
yes.
Drake.
Yeah, Drake be having some and Jay, but I will say Tyler and Drake's are more tasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jay's is just awesome. I'm rich.
yeah.
That's just
Like
what it
he
is.
had what is it? Paddock. Am I saying that correct?
Yeah.
And it was like a Tiffany blue, or is that that's Patek Philippe, right?
There's a bunch of
Oh my
watches that
goodness,
can,
yeah.
it probably is a Patek.
Yeah, but it was like super nice or something. Like one of the Rolexes I really do like is like the one it has like the rainbow dial.
A Daytona.
With the diamonds
And
in
it has so they're rainbow colored stones and they're
Yeah.
square, right? And it has 3 circles in the face.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, when you refer to the Rolex face, the actual term is dial. I know what both of them mean. I don't care if you say face or
Okay.
dial. If people do work with me, but sometimes I feel bad when I reply and I'm like, yeah, this is the dial, and they're like, what you mean dial? And I'm like, oh shit, the face. But
Right.
anywho,
Yeah, no. I appreciate you're educating us too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I appreciate that. I'm sure everybody else will because like a lot of us. I mean, and you mentioned this before. Like we don't really know too much about it. I mean, you see if it's bust down. We don't know the. I almost called it an SKU number, but we ain't talking about sneakers. But the reference numbers and things of that nature. So it's really important that, and I'm taking this as a learning experience as well, that you're allowing us to learn and about watches and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've talked so much about watches and what you do. I mean, that's just one aspect.
yeah, I was gonna say like
That's one aspect of what you do. Yeah.
So outside of watches, I do also have a corporate job again,
Exactly.
and it works for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Fortune 500 company, and I work from home half the time, so I could. And the watches, I could do that, and I could do that I can make plays over the phone now. I don't always have to be
Right.
there in person. I just need one watch a week, and I'm straight.
Okay.
And but what I work in government procurement. That's my corporate job, and then also I make clothes and blankets. You know what? Let me take that back. I hate to say I make clothes because I don't know how to sew, and I wish I knew how to sew. I curate clothes.
I mean, I would also. I mean, you mentioned earlier off camera that you messed around with Photoshop and when you create. So I wouldn't take away from your credit of what you do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is a part of it.
Yeah.
You know.
So every piece I've ever sold, designed, whatever, I've designed it myself. Every lookbook I've created, I've directed it myself. Every
Like that's you.
Yeah. Every pop-up I've ever had, I curated it myself. But that doesn't go unsaid. There's a lot of people that helped me down the line with that. Shout out JP. Shout out Brandon. Shout out every person that's modeled for me. Shout out the people that post me, put me on, try to put me on. You know, shout out 2048. Shout out 60647. Like a bunch of people have helped me in ways unmeasurable that I'm so grateful for. Yeah, and you know. That clothing brand, truly, I started it in my stepdad's garage in 2018. I did the first photo shoot in that garage with one of my best homies. I'm so sorry. I'm kind of skipping over it. So, the name of the clothing brand is Lauredo Projects. Right. And where that comes from is so originally the first name was Ralphie Lauredo, and I did that because I'm such a big fan of Ralph Lauren, but I'm Puerto Rican Mexican. I was like, I need some shit that's gonna showcase like my Latin side, you know, my Latin roots. And you know, so then I named it Ralphie Laredo, and I thought that shit was kind of weak. And then I started playing with logos, and then at the time, my girl had just copped like some Common Projects shoes or whatever, and I was like, damn, I like their name. So then I was like, Lauredo Project sounds cool, and it makes sense because so a portion of my family grew up and they lived in the Diversity Projects up north, or the Lathrop homes, for those of you who are unfamiliar, but also too, you know, for those of you who are unaware, when Puerto Rico was acquired or colonized, I should say, by the U.S., a lot of friends and family owned agriculture, owned crops, you know, lived natively off the land. U.S. came in awesome. Hey, we'll take this from y'all, but we'll let y'all live for free somewhere else and give y'all food for free. A lot of people in hindsight were like, fuck it, I could do with that. Right. And they invented the Section 8 project system. Not invented, implemented the Section 8 project housing system in Puerto Rico. And yeah, like I said, I had a few friends and family that grew up in them projects too, and I was the times I frequent Puerto Rico, I frequent them projects, and over there it translates to, so the projects out there, they call them caseríos, and like if I were to say caserío to like another group of like Latin America, they wouldn't really know what that means, but that's specific to Puerto Rico and that island. And it's just like, so it's just so crazy because it's like for eons, people of, you know, people of color, whether it be, you know, Caribbeans, you know, African Americans. Half the time African Americans kind of bothers me because it's like, whatever. Neither here. You get, you know what I'm
I get you.
You know what I'm getting at though. Right?
Yeah.
Just the term. It's just like same thing with Latin Americans. You know, like they brought us here. They gave us scraps. They gave us pain. We turned that pain to champagne. Yeah. In the scraps.
And TikTok trends.
Yeah.
Our lifestyle is a trend on TikTok. So
we take these scraps and make them, and we make fucking food. We make music. We make clothes. We make culture. We make trends, and we make it enough to now it's up to gentrification standards. Yeah. And like I said, full circle moment. Them same diversity projects. What are they now? Loft homes, nice little condos. You know, all of a sudden, a certain like bad part of Puerto Rico that was primarily filled with, you know, projects is now like people making TikToks, going down there, throwing parties down there, making it a thing, making like a travel destination. It's just like,
look at what we did.
Yeah. We did this shit. Right. And you know, a lot of people like it. Sometimes it hurts my feelings when people like don't enunciate the name right when they say Lauredo Projects or Laredo Projects. I don't really care though. Like, I don't like correcting people, which may be a flaw of mine. But like, a lot of people don't really. A lot of people aren't aware of why like I even created the brand or what it like ensues or what it represents. That's why like I have my grandparents in the photo shoots. That's why I have like homies that I grew up with in my shoots. I would love for somebody with some Chicago clout to come fuck with me. Yeah. But my pride is always in the way. Like, I don't want to bother you because it's like, who are you to me or what are you to this brand? Sure. You don't owe me or owe us shit. Right. So I doubt you'd want to like fuck with me, you know. But
Bro, I love it, man. I mean, from it being inspired by where you're from, I think being inspired by where you're from is first and foremost, and you channeling that and putting it into the pieces you create. I don't even want to call them clothing because like clothing just gives it a materialistic aspect. I mean, you're putting emotion, you're putting time, you're putting history, you're putting your culture. Like this is a piece. This is art. You know, essentially.
Thank you.
And even with this right here, I mean, like this is, I mean, it's all art. You're designing it, whether you know how to sew or not. You're figuring out what materials really capture the essence of what you need it to. So, and to me, it can't be described anything less than art. You know what I mean? And with me being a little bit unfamiliar with, Lauredo Projects and everything. Hopefully I said it right.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you've been saying it right. So yeah, walk in the crib.
Yeah. What has been, I mean, what has been your most favorite project so far for it? Or have we not seen that yet? I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm interested to know, man. I mean, with such a rich cultural tie to what you do in these in these pieces and everything, like where are we at with that?
So I got two favorites. I got two. One of them, I put this out in 2022. This was the first time I got my grandpa involved in this shoot, right? What did I make? And these I actually sampled fabric. I sampled fabric. I did everything. I didn't just let a manufacturer make whatever I guess you could say dimensions or specifications that they thought were gonna be good. Like standard, like, oh, this is what Gap makes, so we're gonna make the same ones for you. I took actual dimensions. I'm like, no, I want it this, I want it that way, I want it this way. Yeah. So I made quarter zips. I made double knee carpenter pants at the time back in 2022, 2021. Okay. That was like their peak of that trend of those carpenter pants, Personally, I mean, people still fuck with them. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. That's neither here nor there. So I made 3 variations of it. I made ones in black, ones in like an off-white cream color, which was my favorite, and ones in like a tan camel color. And then I also got the leather patch for, how sometimes so Levi's has that patch by where the belt loop is. I got that. I designed a leather patch myself, and I chose green leather, and I got it made in the Ukraine. And then what else did I make with that drop? And then I made some. I threw in a blanket. I threw in a beanie, and then I did like a T-shirt that had just a logo at the chest pocket area, and in the back it said, I think it said we went to your hood and nobody knew you.
I've seen that one. Yo, that I see. You know what? I seen that before I even met you. Funny enough, because I saw it again when I looked at your IG and I was like, I've seen that before. That's hard, and that's true a lot of times. That's also true.
And funny enough, I only made that as a space filler for the pop-up. Wow. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I hate that shirt.
Wow. Really? That captured my attention.
It captured everybody's attention, and I wish it didn't, because I'm like, what I really put so much time and effort in, people fucked with it. Right. But they fucked with the other shit that took me 2 seconds to think of more. And I was just like, so that one was my favorite, but also one of my biggest personal disappointment. I was disappointed in the result of it, because I was like, man, y'all wanted me to get into my creative bag and my cut and sew bag, and y'all wanted this, y'all wanted that. I was giving what the people wanted, and I was like, and I wanted the pants too. I rocked with them for a little bit, right? And but no, how how responsive it was at the pop up, the shirts flew off the shelf, the pants, the quarter zips, right. And at the time I was like, man, this motherfucker's gonna get a fit off in these pants and the quarter zip. But I think what I fucked up on, I was thinking I'm gonna get a fit off. I wasn't thinking collectively for the whole city of Chicago, you know?
Right.
And then, so that one I'm like on the fence about as it being my favorite and
Mm.
also not my least favorite
Mm.
because of, but
Yeah.
and then out of nowhere,
That's crazy. I feel like I'm talking to, because I've heard a lot of, even musically, like artists say that they hated their first projects or something like that. And it's like, bro, that's how we that's how we knew about you. That's how we found out about you. So that's interesting to hear you say that about
yeah. But I think unexpectedly, what was my favorite? It was the most simplest shit. I made it on my phone in literally a minute. I'm gonna tell you what happened. We went to Vegas this past June for a jewelers/watch dealer convention, right?
Okay.
Back in March, I had put out these like cropped style, and when I mean cropped, I mean like they're very much fitted and snug at the waist, but they're roomy up here. You get what I mean? Almost like the Yeezy hoodies.
Got you.
Graphic on the back, screen printed. Graphic on the front, which is the logo, embroidered. Very texturized all around, through and through. And the hoodie was very heavyweight and cozy as fuck. I made 3 variations of those, right? And something else too. I forgot what else I threw in there, right? I made it in March. It was cool. You know, people loved them. People didn't love the price, but I mean, shit is expensive. You know, it is what it is. And it was a good pop-up. It was a good, you know, it turned out good. I hadn't dropped some shit in a minute because this shit adds up. This is all my money that I put up, you know? So the store 60647, it's in the Logan Square. It's on Fullerton and Kedzie, right? Humble Park, Puerto Rican fest time is coming around. Dude who owns it, and shout out B, he hit me up and said, yo, we doing some shit for the Puerto Rican festival. You want to you got some shit to put up? And I was like, I don't, but I can. He said, bet, what you got? Like, send me a mock-up right now. So I was like, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the brand Barriers NY. Yeah. So I fuck with them heavy. Yeah. I've always fucked with Barriers clothes.
They got this Jackie Robinson hoodie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's like almost like a clip art from an old sports magazine. It almost or like a comic book style. Yeah, right? I love their work. Yeah. I love their concept. I love their work. Yeah. Right, and I was like, how can I kind of, and mind you, overall art. I mean, creativity is literally the art of stealing. And that's just what it is. We all take ideas from each other. That's true. And just, you know, put our little spin on it. Yeah. So I took a spin on what they did, and I just made it like Boricua as hell. They had Jackie Robinson. Puerto Ricans got Roberto Clemente, you know? And like, I just slapped my logo on it. I made my logo a little cartoonish, and I was like, this is what I got. You know, let's see what happens. I sent it to dude, right? Bro, literally, I sold out of every single one of those pieces within the hour. Everybody was only not only, I shouldn't say that. Mostly everybody that went was like, I'm here for even people I didn't know. I'm here for this tea. And I was
for business.
And people I didn't know, and I was like, you like this? And they're like, oh, I love this. Yeah. Like, I need more. Like, what else do you do? And I was like, I mean, that turnout was so amazing. And then my boy Brandon, he took his like Sony VHS camera that he had since he was like a child, recorded the whole thing, put some shit together. The recap video was raw as hell. Man, it was hot out. Right. It was just the DJ was fire.
Had the cocoa.
Had the cocoa. Like, man, he was drunk as hell in front. Like, motherfuckers was doing donuts on their bikes with Puerto Rican flags. Like, it was just a vibe, bro. And it was like so like it felt like
you're painting a picture, bro. Like, I see
it almost felt like is this really my brand identity? Like, I'm gonna come clean. I'm not like, when I tell people like you know, when I tell people I'm Puerto Rican Mexican, for some odd reason they be like, nah, I don't believe you Mexican. And I'm like, okay, whatever. What am I then? They're like, nah, you just Puerto Rican. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm not crazy bit. I've never had a Puerto Rican flag in my car. Like not on.
Word.
I never had the boxing gloves. Right. I ain't never been too like Boricua for because this shit would just be a little too much sometimes. You know, like even during the fest, I was never the type on some whoa with the flag. Right. It's just I'm just Puerto Rican. It is what it is. You know. And so when I did that, all these like essentially Ricans that pulled up and they was like, yo, this shit like. Fire, this, woo, 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 this and that, and I'm just like, I guess I be putting some shit together when I really like least expect it, and when I don't overcomplicate things in this brain. This brain be braining, and other times it be beating my ass. And anywho, I brought you 2 of those teas, but you can.
Bro, I can't wait. I'm not gonna lie. When you told me that the Roberto Clemente, I had to make sure I said it right.
Yeah.
Because he's also, I used to play baseball too. So
for real?
Yeah, I did. So
Me too.
I was right field, but we ain't gonna talk too much about my history, man. Cause no, when you just said that for me, bro, I can't wait to not to say to get off this, but like to see the pictures of that. Cause I'm curious. I know that was heat. I know it was gas. Like I know.
The photo shoot. Literally, so I hit up my screen printer. Oh my god, I got a lot of shout outs on this.
You should, you know what? You should though.
Shout out to Aldrin. Aldrin, he's a good man. He's a good dude, and I truly mean that. Like, mind you, I only know so much about him and that's only like on some creative shit. That's all. I only get like so much. That's all I got. Right. It's been super nice to me, super respectful. Always, his response time is always immaculate. His turnaround time is always like perfect. He was like, how soon you need these? Need them for the Puerto Rican Fest, right? And I said, yeah. He's like, I got you. Made that shit. Got that shit. 2 days. Got that shit done. My photographer JP. Oh my God, bro. Amazing work. I told him when I needed this by, he was like, you need this shit for Puerto Rican Fest? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like,
I love how they knew that already.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, like all of y'all actually kind of like me. Like it's not just business,
right,
you know.
Right.
Which
That's love.
I go into a lot of shit. I get involved in a lot of things with the most minimal expectations. You know, like I hope they have this perception of me, or I hope they can kind of level with me. And when they do, like without me even asking or saying anything, I'm like, that's why I fuck with you. You know.
Right.
So JP said that shit. He's like, man, and JP's style of photography. When him and I work together, it's very almost like each time has been different, but I'm big into like film style.
Okay.
And I'm big like what's the term? Femi?
Ooh.
When
this might
point
be
and shoot.
Okay.
Point and shoot, and I'm big into like editorial, almost like
I'm sorry, yo. I had to look up at E.
we talk this shit long as
yeah,
hell.
it's all right though, bro.
My fault,
That's what
man.
it's about, man. I man, keep it going, bro. Like this is
but
one of the best
anywho,
conversations I've had. Yo, this man just showed me. He's like, yo, the phone just died. Like everything.
Camera died.
Camera died. That camera died. This camera died. But we still vibing with it.
gonna
Like
cut it.
I don't care, bro. Like this is one of the best episodes yet.
Yeah.
I mean, not nothing to take away from the other episodes, but I just really love the direction that this episode has gone in. So I truly don't care, bro.
So me either. So when JP was like, yo, I got you, and when I was like, I got an idea. I have one of my vintage grails is a pair of the Puerto Rico Air Force Ones that they came out in 2003.
Yo,
the navy blue ones specifically.
Yes.
Navy blue is such a hard color to me,
Yeah.
and I feel like, I mean, you get it. You got a Detroit hat. I got a Seattle hat.
I'm pretty much wearing navy blue caps.
Navy blue is such a underrated color.
Bro, it's one of the best colors.
I don't know why.
I was
shout out to school uniforms because I think
for real.
I think that's what set the tone, like for
Yeah.
real. So I was like, look, this is what we gonna do. We gonna replicate my grandma's crib. I took a old ass painting of baby Jesus that she had, with God knows if it's real hair in there or fake hair. And I was like, we gonna hang this up. We gonna put the damn Puerto Rico forces in the background, and we gonna set the Clemente tees up. And that's it. And he was like, done deal. I know what to do.
Right.
And that's all I had to tell him. made that. Bro, that shit came out so simple but so like clean. I didn't use no models. I was like, I don't got a haircut, and I ain't got no models right now, so we just gonna have to do a product shoot. And I was like, that's cool. Fuck it. Like, let's run it. And yeah, it came out. Yeah. So that I think that was the last time I put some shit out. Because what I want to put out is super expensive, so I'm just saving up for it, man. But I'm also living life. Like I truly believe in I'm not forcing shit. You know, like I don't know when my time will come with that, but Lauredo Projects is definitely like my baby, right? And I've had dreams of it like blowing up in the way I want it to. And mind you, this is me jumping the gun. I'll tell you where I get a little bit of my my inspiration from, like clothing company wise. I definitely draw inspo from Double RL, Ralph Lauren,
of course,
for sure. That's
absolutely
that's the benchmark. Definitely them. Definitely a lot of people in New York. Barriers for sure. Right. I want to say ALD. But it's hard to say ALD because I know they drew inspo from Ralph Lauren.
I was just you
feel me? And but I shot them out though. I shot them out. ALD for sure.
They do a great job.
They do a good job. You know, Ralph Lauren was just like head honcho back then. He didn't have to do too much. You know.
And I don't know if you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure you do. Ralph has so many breakdowns of different like labels, like Champs or like. I learned
Purple Label,
or just like there's so many divisions.
Polo Bear, just the Polo Bear itself.
Man. Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to think.
Sport is my man.
Yeah, Sport
or Stadium, like Polo Stadium.
I never knew Stadium.
It's like the ones with like it says 1992 on there.
Okay.
Or like Snow Beach. If you know about Snow Beach, that all the rappers back in the day used to wear that. Like,
yeah, I think dude on Fuck That's Delicious. What's his name? Mayhem Loren. He wore a lot of Snow Beach.
Yeah, Snow Beach. That stuff is expensive though. Like it's pretty rare. But yeah, those are all gas. Ralph has it in the bag for me. I've really been in my Ralph bag lately. I got a couple of pieces I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, no, I definitely been in my Ralph bag for sure. And And I see why a lot of the people were in it back in the day. Like I'm happy. I'm happy I'm in that space now. But yeah, sorry.
No, you good. Yeah. I'm trying to think like who else I drew inspiration from. Definitely Virgil. Yeah, definitely Virgil for sure.
Yeah.
Saying Stussy. Stussy for me, timeless, forever. I am a Stussy. Yeah. I am a diehard Stussy fan. Yeah. Shit, I hope fucking Stussy makes my wedding tux. I don't even know what else.
When I was working at like St. Alfred back in the day.
You used to work at St. Alfred?
Yeah, some years ago, some years ago, shortly. But they had got like in New Stussy like apparel in, and at that time. That's when I like really thought Stussy was like more like a t-shirt stuff like that because that's where I was coming up. But the stuff, this is 2018, so the stuff that they were getting in was like outerwear pieces and like, bro, it was just gas, all of it, gas, like everything, like gas, like all of it. So, yeah, sorry, go ahead, bro.
You good? No, but no, my fault too. I'm not trying to be rude. I gotta reply to my barber.
Oh, hey,
I gotta cancel tomorrow. What's it called?
But Stussy was one of the inspirations.
Yeah, Stussy, and then I'm just like simple shit, bro. I draw inspiration from almost everything, but clothing wise, like Stussy always been up there for me. Yeah, and then like graphic tee wise, I fuck with Barriers for sure. Like I said, Virgil, and man, and just life. You know, I came across this video of this Japanese artist, and I don't know what it is about Japanese creativity and artistry, but they got some shit figured out, and I don't know what it is. I think I know what it is now. Dude in the interview, and I forgot who it was. I damn near feel like he has some type of affiliation to Issey Miyake, but he says some shit. He was like, everybody thinks creativity is available online. You just need to go outside and touch and smell and see. And he was like creativity is it's easier than we think it is. It just comes from your senses and where you're at and where you're around and where you want to be around. He was just like, just leave your house. Leave your house, touch something, smell something, see something. See something or hear something you've never touched, smelled, or whatever before. You know? And I was just like, that is such an amazing piece of advice that he dropped, and I was just like, I never thought of it like that. Because I definitely all my creativity, I'm screenshotting shit left and right.
Yeah,
I'm browsing.
That's true.
YouTube, Google left and right, old lookbooks left and right, and I was like, Japan, what they got? Like, Japan got everything in that one island. Yeah. Fun fact, Japan got the most Michelin stars.
Really? I would believe it.
In all the restaurant world.
Yeah, I would believe that, bro. They take everything very serious, like serious in the sense of like preserving and like just like even when I think of like style, like their Americana like interest of Western style or like Levi's.
Shout out Capital. I want to own something Capital so bad.
Yeah, like they do a very good job of preserving the Americana look and all of that more so than we do. I'm like, bro, I wish we could get back to this style, if anything, but.
Yeah, but
so I don't know. I
want to keep going, but I don't. I've been looking at the clock this whole time, and I was like, damn,
you know what?
Bro.
It's so funny, bro. Like he came in here, he's like, yo, both cameras are done, bro. But before we get out of here, bro, I just want to ask this, man. What do we see? What is next for Juliano? What is next for Lauredo Projects? What can we expect from you?
Next from me, watch-wise, everybody I care about and everybody that's ever cared about me, I hope somehow, some way I get to put a Rolex on y'all wrist.
Oh, wow, that's love.
It don't have to be a Rolex. Yeah. Any luxury timepiece. I hope I make that happen. Whether it's on me or it's because y'all excelling so much in life, it's on you. You want to do it, Right. And Lauredo, I got some shit, man. It's gonna be less overthinking, just more doing. My plan is to put out some ski caps, skull caps, whatever you want to call them. I definitely want to design some sunglasses, and I've been in talks with this company in Italy that they pretty much make sunglasses for everybody you can think of: Ray-Ban, Chrome Hearts, Retro Super Future, everybody. And their minimum's not too crazy, but it's I got to put up a lot of bread. I got to put up like $5,000. Man, I'm big. Growing up, I was big into, still to this day, the culture of spades.
Important
at
every table.
Important in this city, and I feel like I don't know if anybody's showcased like a something spades related, and I want to do some shit. I want to make. I want like, how Stussy has little knickknacks. They always have a candle
or
a
dice.
Rug mat. I want some Lauredo Projects playing cards.
Yo,
I got some graphics that will look cool on that shit. Yeah. And then I host a spades competition.
I like it.
Come on now.
I like it, bro.
And I want to do more. I want to present myself and pitch myself to do more collaborative work. I would love to make the merch for one of my favorite fast food spots up north, preferably Badaki's. And I think it would be cool to do some shit with them. And yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, that's you've outlined enough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and a lot of great things. So, I mean, I'm happy to look forward to it, man. I'm happy to see everything that you have coming up for Lauredo and for being. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm losing train of thought here, but just everything you have that's coming forward, bro. I'm excited to see. So just know I will definitely be checking in, and you do a fantastic job all the way around, bro. And it's been a pleasure to have you here.
I appreciate you having me, man. For real, I had an amazing time.
Yeah, well, I'm glad, man. Thank you, and thank you for the the wine and bro, I can't wait for the people to see this, bro.
Me too. Funny enough, I
is-
made this years ago. I made this
Yeah.
during COVID.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They got to see this right here. So, man, y'all know what you heard it here first. It's your boy Femi First, Juliano,
I don't have a cool rap name. Jdot. You know, Puerto Rico. type
Jdot,
shit.
Puerto Rico. You know what it is. Dry clean only. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace.